Hello, parents, caregivers, and babies. Welcome to our Baby Day presentation entitled Little Toddlers, Big Emotions. I'm Jackie Nelson, an Associate Professor of Psychology at the University of Texas at Dallas. I teach undergraduate and graduate classes in child development and family relationships, and my research focuses on parenting. I'll be talking with you today about toddlers' emotions with some help from my own toddler at the end. First, what do toddlers even understand about emotions? Toddlers are just developing emotion knowledge, an understanding of their own and others' feelings. That means that emotions can be difficult for toddlers to label, particularly various types of negative emotions. Your child might be feeling upset or worn out, but not really understand what they're feeling or why they're crying. They may need your help to label their feelings, which can actually give them more emotion communication tools to help them calm down in the future. So that might be something like, wow, you look really angry right now. I bet that's frustrating when your toy breaks. Second, why do toddlers struggle so much with emotion regulation? Emotion regulation refers to their ability to monitor and modulate emotions and how they express them. This is a challenging task for toddlers who are really limited in their abilities to understand their feelings, communicate with caregivers, control their environments, and cope with distress. This means that dysregulation and tantrums are common among toddlers, even over things that seem minor or silly to us. We have to remember that they aren't silly issues to your toddler. They are truly upset. Also, we should consider our own child's characteristics and how they may have a harder or easier time regulating themselves than other kids. For example, children like my son, who tend to have strong negative reactions frequently, are going to have a harder time learning to regulate because they face more opportunities for distress. But regulation can be learned, and developmentalists believe it is best learned in the context of warm, supportive caregiving relationships. So, how should we, as caregivers, react when our toddlers start to lose it? Well, let's first think about how we would want others to react when we get really upset. You don't want to be dismissed. You want people to be understanding, empathetic, and comforting. Your toddler wants the same thing. We can let our children know that we're sorry they're so upset without giving in to their demands. So, something like, I know that's disappointing when you have to stop playing. I wish we could play all day, but we have to leave. I'm sorry. I know that's hard. Would you like a hug? Now, you know your child best. My daughter always wants a hug. So, initiating that even when she's upset can be effective. That piece might not work with your child, but showing empathy and understanding can take many forms. But come on, it can be challenging to show empathy and comfort when your toddler is screaming and crying because they don't want to cooperate with what you want them to do. One of the most important things you can do in those parenting situations is to stay calm. Recognize that as parents, we have triggers, things our kids say and do that really make us mad. Some of us have a lot of triggers based on a volatile home environment we grew up in, perhaps. Some of us have reactivity and attention issues of our own that make it hard for us to stay positive and focused. Try to be mindful of those triggers and practice regulating your own emotions. Children rarely ever calm down themselves when parents are yelling too. When we get worked up, we're more likely to punish children for their negative emotions, which teaches them that negative feelings are unacceptable and uncontrollable. So, back to how parents can help children work through their feelings. Research shows that when caregivers allow children to express their distress and they help them work through those feelings to solve the problem, children are better able to regulate their emotions and develop better social emotional skills. Distraction can also be a useful strategy with toddlers, particularly when there really isn't a specific problem. And you know that happens sometimes with toddlers who are tired or hungry. The other day, my daughter started crying because I cut her toast in half after she asked me to cut her toast in half. Getting them to shift their attention to something else can sometimes help them calm down. And if you're able to incorporate some humor, a silly voice perhaps, that can help lighten the mood too. Maybe even get everyone laughing. That worked the other day with my reactive 5-year-old son, who would definitely not like to be hugged if he were mad. He was grumpy about having to get dressed up for pictures, and I asked him if he was going to make a face like this when he was asked to smile. He couldn't help but laugh, and he stopped being so angry, and I stopped being angry at him for hijacking the morning. But speaking of tired and hungry toddlers, it can be helpful for parents to think about the cause of their toddler's emotional outbursts, particularly if they happen at certain times or in certain situations. Perhaps there's something in the routine that could be changed to prevent problems from even happening in the first place. If your toddler tends to melt down around 4:30 each afternoon, maybe they need something different, a more filling afternoon snack, a longer nap, some extra snuggle time. Finally, can we improve emotion regulation skills in our toddlers? Yes. Developmentalists argue that while tendencies towards greater emotional reactivity may be biologically based, children can learn skills to control their emotions. And as caregivers, we can help teach them that negative emotions are natural, acceptable, and manageable based on how we react to children when they're distressed. And we can teach children specific strategies to calm down in the moment. Here is one example that my 2.5-year-old daughter Avery and I practice together. And parents, this can be helpful for you too if you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay, all right. Avery, can you pretend like you're upset and show them how you take your 10 deep breaths? Okay. Can you put your hand up and show them your breaths? Big breaths. Can you do 5 more? Very good. Can you close your eyes and pretend that you're at the beach? Does that help make you feel calm? Mm-hmm. One last note. I'm at the beach. I'm at the beach. One last note. Remember to praise your child when they do show self-regulation and manage a hard situation. Acknowledging what children are doing right teaches them so much more than pointing out what they're doing wrong. So I might say to Avery, you did a great job calming down just now. Let's try to stay relaxed as you go back to sharing your toys with your brother. Thank you for watching our presentation on Little Toddlers, Big Emotions. Parents and caregivers, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Happy Baby Day. Say bye. Say bye.